Welcome back to World of Warships with Bucketeer. Today we're going to be taking my Farragut out for a match on Fault Line. It's a Tier 7 match, and it's not too bad. It's about the kind of matchmaking we've been seeing lately. Mostly Tier 6. We've got about one Tier 7 cruiser, destroyer, and cruiser, battleship, and destroyer each. So it's not too bad for the Farragut. It's a pretty good matchup. And I'm sitting over here on the west side towards the A cap, and I let my team know that I'm going to head for B. The B cap is kind of suicide for anything like a battleship or a cruiser, but in a destroyer you can get away with it. And you don't see a lot of people going right for the B cap, so if I can get in there, I might be able to get a sneaky cap in before anybody shows up. So take off towards B, and I light off my speed boost. And again, I'm taking another look at the enemy team list, and I do not like the sight of two Clevelands. After driving to Cleveland for quite a while, both in closed beta and now in the full game, I have a very serious fear of Clevelands whenever I'm driving a destroyer, so I'm trying to stay away from them. Now the Farragut's a pretty good little ship. I really like it. It's got, American torpedoes. They're not fantastic. You can't stealth torp, but the guns are great. They're typical U.S. Navy guns where they fire their shells halfway to the moon before they make it back down. But you can learn how to adjust to it. So right now I'm heading off towards B, and that fellow Sims is actually going to be coming along for the ride as well. But right now he's sitting about 1.5 kilometers, 2 kilometers behind me. So I'm going to get into the B cap well ahead of anybody else. So racing up here, hoping to get some early spots, and there we go. Enemy Fuso and an enemy Koenig. So we got eyes on two enemy battleships, and this is one of the things that I do in this match is there's a lot of spotting going on, and this B cap is actually pretty good to give your team an early idea of where everybody's going. And oh, there is the Baguette, and he is taking off towards C, which I can kind of see that. As a battleship captain, I can kind of see heading over towards C with the Dunkerque, because you've got that decent frontal armor, good guns. I can see going sitting on C and turning bow in and just raining death on people. And here that Sims pops off his torpedoes, and he tries to claim that he's doing area denial, but even with the Sims torpedoes, they're not long enough range to actually reach where anybody is, so they're going to run out of steam well before they get there. And right now I'm noticing that I am not getting any progress, which means there is another destroyer somewhere on this cap, probably behind the island. So trying to get some space, get my guns around, because I'm expecting to see him here pretty quick. The real trick is going to be to thread the needle and avoid getting spotted by the enemy battleships. And oh, there we go. It's the enemy Farragut out here, and he was not really prepared for this getting spotted. So I fire off the torps, but it really kind of winds up not mattering. I'm on fire, so I pop the damage control to get that out and take him down. He went down fast. So first blood, and I am no longer spotted thanks to that Farragut smoke. So good for me. So, and that Sims opens up, even though the best thing he can do right now is not shoot. So we've got a New Mexico and a Fuso heading towards A. The Dunkerque is actually turned bow in, sort of on that slot between C and B. So we'll see more of him later. All right, enemy Cleveland's over there at about 10 kilometers, and I do not want to get any closer to him. So I'm kind of hanging out here right in the middle, just far enough away from everybody to avoid getting shot at and spotted. So Nagato. And this is again a very battleship heavy match, which has been pretty much the norm for about the last month since the German battleships came out. Now there's that other Cleveland, but he's a good long way out there, and now we've capped B, so we're going to see if we can't do a little more spotting for the team. So, and I drop into that what is little is left of that smoke. And I'm still hunting around to see if I can't find anything close enough to use my torpedoes on. enemy shores over there. But so far, nah, not really much of anything that's catching my eye. I slow down so that I don't get spotted by that Koenig. I've got probably about a kilometer of buffer between when he can spot me. But, oh, trouble. Yep, that New Mexico just so happened to get close enough. And I pop off some torps. I launch on the bearing and then slightly behind it on the assumption that a lot of these guys, the normal reaction for most people is to turn into the torps. So if you turn into that first volley, it'll oftentimes put you right in the path for the second. So I open up with the guns because there's no reason not to. I'm spotted, I may as well start shooting. And oh, now I'm getting engaged by that enemy Cleveland over there and the Dunkerque. So that is not anything I want to keep putting up with. So stop shooting, waiting to go undetected. His shots fall short. And yep, I've got a lot of people's attention over here. But hey, I stop firing, my detection radius drops, and once again, I disappear off the map. So now that Dunkerque is continuing to move forward, and this is kind of what I see out of a lot of Dunkerques. They'll turn bow on, and why not? Because all your guns are forward and your armor's not that great to the sides. So you turn your bow on, you get all 8 guns firing, and then you advance very slowly, or even stop in some cases. And I get why, and there I'm detected, so I start opening up with my guns. I get why they do it, but usually you see them do it more towards the back of the map. This guy inching up this close, and especially, I've been spotted multiple times. People know I'm out here, so I shift my fire. I'm trying to set fires further back and get my bearing. And again, a little ahead, a little behind. And he is actually slowing down. He is dead slow here. So even if he wanted to, accelerating to try to get into a turn to try to dodge these torps is just not anything he's going to be able to do. So he's just sitting here. I mean, he's literally a sitting duck for my torpedoes. And there they come back onto the screen. I just cannot get the back end of this ship to burn. But he's already on fire, and apparently his damage control is down, or he's just not. He's holding on to it. But it is not going to matter because, boom, 4 torpedo hits. Yeah, you ain't surviving that. Dunkerque's not got fantastic torpedo protection, so 4 torpedoes, it's dead. And now I bug out. Guns shut down so I don't get detected, and I admonish him a little bit for sitting still. So back into the B to basically to babysit the cap is what I'm doing. Is I'm babysitting this cap to make sure that enemy doesn't come after it and get it. Now the A cap is there it goes, finally taken. Given the number of enemy battleships and ships in general over at A, it's kind of surprising it took them that long to get it. Alright, there's the Sims. Opening fire, firing off his torpedoes. And yeah, there's the Dunkerque captain basically saying that as soon as he saw me, he knew he was done. Which is accurate. At that kind of range, you're that slow, you don't have enough speed to turn, you don't have enough time to get your speed up to turn. There's just nothing you can do. So that's why most of the time when you see people driving Dunkerques, they're going to do that maneuver at a greater distance. So here are lineup shots on that New Mexico. Again, right on bearing and a little behind, and ouch, that hurt. So immediately pop my damage control to try to get that taken care of, and well, open fire on the New Mexico, may as well. He used his damage control, so if I can get him lit up, he's going to be hurting. Downside, I'm spotted, so I am doing my best to keep the ship moving, shimmy it back and forth. Best guess, he might have turned slightly, and it looks like he might have picked up speed, because I only get 1 shot right into the rear end of him. But he's flooding, and I'm getting some flooding damage, so he is not controlling it yet. So that's good news. That's free damage, essentially, and leaves him hurting. But now that Cleveland is after me, and I do not like that. So I am trying to got the speed boost activated, and I am trying to get out of the way of him. Shimmying back and forth. So he's trying to get a bearing on me, but this constantly shaking my butt back and forth makes it hard for him to get the shot lined up, and I disappear. So now I'm taking a look at my torpedoes. My torpedoes aren't too long for getting reloaded, so I'm going to try to sneak up using this island as cover to get into torpedo range, because they are, now that they have A, they're coming after B, and I want to try to head that off. Again, I'm trying to babysit this cap. I want to keep this cap, and don't want to let anybody take it from us, because right now it's 530 to 400 tickets, which is pretty good for us. Attrition has been pretty equal for both teams. I know this New Mexico is going to go down pretty quick, and I can't help but take a few shots at him, because coming around I'm now detected, and there is that Cleveland. So start trying to put some shots across him. Ouch, took a heavy hit from that Koenig, and more hits from that Cleveland, but I've got my torpedoes away, and I pop my smoke to try to disappear. Now, a lot of people go too fast, and they will outrun their smoke screen. So what I usually do is I try to put my smoke screen behind me, and oh, yep, the Cleveland takes 2 torpedoes, which pretty good news for me. But like I said, I pop my smoke screen and then I turns to put my my aft towards the enemy. That way that my smoke comes out between me and them, no matter how fast I'm moving. And right now with that smoke screen, as a benefit, nobody can see me. Oh, just popped out from behind it, so now they can. But I had fire set on that Cleveland, and he gets taken out. But I am detected, and that is a bad thing for me. So there's that Fuso. I disappeared just long enough. But, oh, and that Fuso gets me. Yep. Long range shot from a battleship. Sometime it is going to happen, and you're going to get your destroyer shot out from under you. So that was my game here. And it was a fairly kind of boring one. After I got put out of the match, it just, nothing much happened. Everybody chased each other around pretty ineffectively. But 97,000 damage and 4,000 experience, 268,000 credits. Yeah, I will take that result any day of the week. And team score, top of the team by a long shot, which is almost entirely due to the fact that I solo capped B and set on it. Capping wins game, people. And the Dunkerque, he took it hard from 4 torpedoes and quite a few explosive hits and decent bit of fire damage. That enemy Cleveland took another good batch of high explosive shells. I should have switched to AP with him. And the enemy Farragut that I finished off, and the New Mexico took quite a bit of damage from me as well. This has been World of Warships with Baguette.